Hello, everybody. This week we have an electronic library exercise where I've asked you to try to find some quotes from the library. And probably the easiest thing for you to do is to hook up a meeting with the Ask a Librarian service and ask them to give you a tour of the library because it's almost like going there in person. In fact, you can go there in person if you want to, or you can just set up a Zoom meeting. And it's a real good idea since you're now in college to get used to working in the library and finding quotes instead of going to Google or Bing or one of those search engines. And this week we have a project where I want you to learn how to find quotes from peer-reviewed journals, and we'll study what those are eventually, and ebooks and daily newspaper, hopefully a credible daily newspaper like the New York Times or San Francisco Chronicle, Washington Post, something like that. And the topic will be academic procrastination. I have a long explanation of how to do this that's written out, and a lot of students don't learn well that way, reading directions and then trying to follow them. Although there are many students who do learn well that way. And so what I recommend you do if you're one of those students is print out those directions and try to follow them step by step. Many students just learn by going to the library and fishing around and figuring it out on their own, and others learn better by looking over someone's shoulder. Can't really look over my shoulder, but I can share my screen with you. I haven't rehearsed this yet, so we're going to just see what happens here. The library changes their interface every semester, so I have to make a new video every semester to make this work. I'm going to share my screen with you right now, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Google, and we're gonna well, that backfired when that went to my class instead of Google. Here we go. If you type into Google Shasta College Library, this will come up every time. So if you've forgotten all of your instructions, just go to Google Shasta College Library, click that, and there you go. The library comes up, and there's an area over here where it says articles and databases. If you follow my cursor, you can click there. There's also an area for online books, and so you can click there too. Let's go to articles and databases first, and you'll see that there's a bunch of databases that are listed here, right? And there's everything from, we're going to be using this one, Academic Search Complete, which is a really good it's a database of peer-reviewed journals, okay? But there's other ones you can look at, California newspapers. Here's a College Source Online, CQ Researcher. There's a lot of different databases in our library. Let's go back to Academic Search Complete for now, because this is kind of a general one. And if you click on that, you'll see that this comes up here in a search bar, and you have different options down here. This is where you would type in search words. This is important here if you want full text, right? You can get that. We'll take that off for a second here, and let's type in the word procrastination and just see what happens. We'll go to search. And there are 1,927 articles about that have the word procrastination in them, and they don't all dig deep into the topic. You'll want to narrow your search, and again, we're just doing this as an exercise. Eventually, you're going to have some searching words for your own topic, for your own research paper that you're going to want to plug in. If you're doing climate change, then you may want to plug in climate, and you may want to put in human influence, and then global warming, and narrow it down. In this case, we're going to do procrastination, and we're going to limit this now. See my choices with my cursor here. I'm going to limit it to full text, because oftentimes what happens is you get there are these peer-reviewed journals that the college can't afford, so all you get is a abstract of what's in there, and then you can get the full text, but you have to go through interlibrary loan to get it, and it takes a few extra days. We've narrowed this down now to 909 articles, full text articles. Let's go down here again, peer-reviewed articles, because you'll hear a lot about, I want you to use peer-reviewed journals in our class whenever possible. These are journals that have been vetted, that have been scrutinized by other people in your profession, and then cleared for publishing. Now we're narrowing it down to peer-reviewed journal articles that have the word procrastination in it, and you'll see it's gone down to 522. Still too many, so let's put in, how about academic? And we'll narrow the search down even further to academic procrastination. Now we're down to 205 articles. That is a manageable number, but still too many. How about academic procrastination and failure? Can you tell I have a subliminal message going on in this assignment, perhaps? Okay, now we've got it down to 26 different articles talking about why students who procrastinate fail. And we can dig into those articles and come up with a quote that you can use as evidence to support a thesis in a research paper about academic procrastination. Let's look at a different way of approaching this really quickly. If you go to our class website, put this up here now, you'll notice that I put online library resources as one of the links too, and you can click on there and it will also take you to the library. But there's some new things in here. You could search for library content just generally. Again, here's databases, and there's the EBSCO database. That's a really good one. Databases for peer-reviewed journals. Further down, we have ebooks, books and ebooks. So it's further up, excuse me. They changed where it is. So now we can search for ebooks in that database. If you go back to the original database, there is a choice for ebooks there too. There's something else really important here I want you to see. Research help. You can chat with somebody live in real time. It might be that somebody's there. There's nobody there right now because I'm making this video in between semesters, but oftentimes there is somebody online. You can make an appointment and either go in to the people at the library and talk to them in person. Here is a select location here in person on main campus, or you can do an online Zoom meeting with them, or you can get on the phone and talk to them. And towards the end of the semester, I'm really going to be pushing this. I want to have, to qualify for an A in this class, you have to have at least one quote from a peer-reviewed journal. And so if you're having a hard time finding that, the people who work through the Ask a Librarian service will help you. You can even use an email and send them an email and say, I need some help finding a peer-reviewed journal article that's going to help me develop my thesis about why music affects emotions or something like that. Could you help me find a quote? And they will actually send you an email back with some ideas. That's kind of a lazy person's way of doing it. It's much better, I think, if you think of it this way, you're trying to develop research skills that you can use in college or at a university when you go beyond Shasta College, that you can use in any course beyond the English department, because I can guarantee you, you will have teachers who will make assignments to write research papers in any discipline that you pursue, and those teachers will expect you to know your way around the library. So instead of thinking of it as, I need to get some quotes for Professor Burko's class to get through this research paper, think of it as, I'm going to meet with somebody at the library who's going to teach me advanced college level research skills that will help me in every course that I take beyond this one. One last thing, just kind of review this with you. I'm going to go back to sharing the screen and taking a look at the library website. If we go back to let's see, when we first came to the library website, when we did the Google search and you ended up on the home page, I want you to see that there is a choice. Let's go to Google one more time. Type in Shasta College Library. There it is. And on this left-hand side over here, you'll see that there's online books. That's an important thing to know too, because I'm going to want you to get a quote from an ebook. And by the way, if you want to, you can even go to online books and let's see if this works here. English composition and do a search there. Oh, look at this. Comes up number one. This is the textbook that we're using for our class. And if you want to, you can check out this entire book, read it on your computer in any format that you want to. Read it on an iPad, read it on your cell phone if you have really good eyes and you can read those little tiny screens. Yes, there are a lot of ebooks in our libraries, so I want you to learn how to find an ebook to read for pleasure, to read for research, to read as a textbook for another class, because it'll save you a lot of money if you don't have to buy the book and it's in our library, right? So instead of buying a $50 book from the bookstore, you can just check it out of our library. That's it for now. I think that's going to give you enough information to kind of get started on this exercise, but I'd also like you to think about this. Oh, it looks like we have a visitor here. Hello, do you want to say hi? Even this guy knows how to use the library, okay? So you need to learn. I caught him, he was researching cat food. So you need to learn how to use it too, okay? That's interjecting just a tiny bit of spontaneous, unexpected humor. We'll see you in the next video and have fun with this. And if you really have a lot of problems finding the 3 quotes, don't hesitate to send me an email. But maybe an even better approach would be connect with the folks at the Ask a Librarian service and ask them to give you a tour of the library, and they'll get much deeper into it than I just did.